Episode 50 of the Mr. It only took 3 years.
The dumbest podcast in the world took 3 years to hit episode 50.
Oh man, you know what's funny? At work, it's Los Angeles. So one of the guys was talking about, his podcast. And I was like, I thankfully, like, he has like a legit podcast. Like they have professional mics, all that stuff. And then this other girl was like, I have a podcast. Like everyone in our office has a podcast. And
you work with podcasters.
And they were like, they had like the headsets, the professional, and I was just like, I can't say shit because they're gonna pull up a clip, and like it's gonna be it's gonna be the clip of me doing an Olivia Rodrigo impression or something,
right?
That they won't be able to unsee.
Us and our webcams and our headphone mics. One day we'll get like a crazy sponsor and we'll like
I really like here's my
record in a studio.
I just want to get like some small studio to notice us and send us free Blu-rays. That's all I want. That's
what do I get out of this? I can't play Blu-ray.
Free Blu-ray out of doing this podcast, it's already worth it, but I will feel like I have made it. My headstone will when I die will say he got a free Blu-ray copy of the animated Mario Brothers movie from his podcast.
Well, first of all, hey everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks you for joining us.
Thanks for sticking around for I almost said 50 years. It feels like that.
50 years. Now
episodes.
Behind the scenes, Frank has been talking about episode 50 for a long time.
I have.
And there's a little bit of a story I have to preface this with.
I'm so excited. What's about to happen? Oh my god.
You calm yourself. Okay, so I don't tell my extended family members about my YouTube channels because I like talking to them about not my work, right? So I like to keep that part secret.
A good chunk of your family, if I'm correct, don't even know that you have a YouTube channel.
A good chunk of my family doesn't know what YouTube is. But yes, I get to be myself around them, you could argue. However, my grandfather loves movies, and he loves showing me older movies that he really loves. Those movies are usually...
We had it used to be My Grandpa Made Me Watch It.
We used to have a long-running segment called My Grandpa Made Me Watch It, where I would talk about old-ass movies. And
Crocodile Dundee!
That was a classic. Frank kept asking to have my grandfather on the podcast.
Yeah, and that means we're going to have Duncan's grandpa tell us what movies he's excited for in the upcoming new year.
They're not going to hear that.
They are. It can even be something small. Just him saying, you're watching the MrMovies podcast.
Then he'd know about it. Which to me was never going to fly. Because again, we're trying to keep this low key. But it is episode 50. And you know what? I feel like I needed to give Frank a little something.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to turn off my mic for a minute. There's going to be bad audio from my end. But Frank, I have 3 clips.
Oh my gosh! Should we do all 3 or do we save them for the 75th episode? What are we doing?
Well, only one of them is relevant, and then I got 2 for fun.
Oh, okay.
Here is, and mind you, I had to be
our new intro.
I had to be very sneaky to get this.
Oh my god.
Legally, you can't record someone without knowing. You have to tell them. So I made sure to say, is there anything you want me to tell Frank? So Frank, you have a personal message.
You are listening to the MrMovies show, episode 50.
I had to ask so many questions to get them to use those words. I never got them to say podcast.
Is that just random words jumbled together?
That is edited words out of sentences to say you're watching the MrMovies show. I couldn't get them to say podcast. Anyway, happy episode 50.
I think that was the longest intro ever. I don't even think we've talked about what this episode is.
It isn't. Let's
It's
talk
going to be
about that.
talking about our most anticipated movies of 2023.
We did it, everybody. We're in
I don't really have a
2023.
list. I'm just kind of Googled 2023 movies, and if one pops out to me, I'm going to talk about it.
The whole point of this was to make a list, and you didn't make a list.
I didn't make a list, but
That's okay. We'll wing it. I have my list.
I'm going to real quick talk about one because it already came out.
All right.
It was the most anticipated, and that was Megan.
Oh my God.
This movie,
You were anticipating Megan?
I was pumped for Megan. The first trailer they released, I was like, I remember I was showing my coworkers this trailer, and I was like, this is going to be one of the best movies ever made. And it's so good. It is actually like,
Oh, you got to
I
see
was
it?
surprised when I saw it debut with like a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes because like I didn't think it was actually going to be good.
Right.
It's really good.
Is it really?
I enjoyed the heck out of it. Yes.
Wow. So you actually got to see it and it lived up to the hype.
People were like cheering "Go Megan" at the end of the like in the like it was nuts. I will say, seeing movies in LA, like if you see a cheesy ass movie like that, people go nuts in the theater, and I
Wow.
love it.
I guess the theater experience would be different in LA, but
People were laughing, clapping. People they were yelling "Go Megan, go Megan!" Like it was pretty good.
wow. Damn it. Now I have to go see it.
Already take us away with Magic Mike's Last Dance. No.
That is not on my list. You coward. I hate that. I did add something to my list because I know it's on yours. Knock at the Cabin.
I got my tickets for next Saturday. I'm so pumped. Yeah.
Wow, you already got tickets, huh?
So there's people I follow and whose opinions I respect, saying
In real life or on social media?
on social media. I don't have
Okay.
real friends.
Just checking.
They're saying it's one of Shyamalan's best in a while, and like I loved Old. I thought Old was great. Like
Yeah.
I know people were like,
I actually
"Oh,
enjoyed
this
it
movie
too.
did not take itself." You know, M. Night Shyamalan does not know how to write. It's like you don't understand M. Night Shyamalan. Okay, don't say he doesn't understand how to. Okay, you went in thinking it was a serious movie when there's a character in that movie named Mid-Size Sedan. Okay, that was your fault.
That part killed me. I loved that.
He was clearly trying to make a cheesy, over-the-top movie. And I feel like, no, I got to go off. I feel like the thing is because he started out making serious movies, people...
They weren't prepared for the,
They weren't prepared for the shift. Well, it happened. You're going to have to deal with it.
I love how you defend M. Night Shyamalan so adamantly.
I love that man. He bet on himself. The studios wouldn't give him the money. I'm having an issue with my eye where I'm blanking funny this week. I apologize.
No worries. You're probably overworked and tired.
M. Night Shyamalan. It's bad when your eye starts twitching. I'm like, this is a problem, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's the point when you start wishing this was an audio podcast.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get frozen yogurt tonight, and I'm gonna tell myself it's worth it.
It is. Frozen yogurt is good. Fro-yo.
M. Night Shyamalan. I'm excited for this.
Anyway, yeah, Knock at the Cabin. I think it's an interesting premise.
Yeah, it's based off a book that I haven't read. I've heard that the ending is quite different from the book. You know, it's gonna have its little twists and turns. I've heard this is closest to Split to compare it to Shyamalan's other work. Like it's got that same more similar tone to it. My eye is like bagged up too. Look at that crap. Happy 50 episodes. Oh my god.
I feel so...
I'm gonna wake up tomorrow with like James DeFranco. That sounds wrong. What's his name?
James Franco.
James DeFranco. Oh my god.
You're thinking of Philip. The third brother.
Woo! Okay.
Yeah, Knock at the Cabin. I like movies where it's like they're doing something crazy, but what if they're right? You know, and the whole question is like what if this is the one time they're right? Like I love that kind of cerebral plot.
That's a February movie, and I'm gonna continue to February's. This movie, I would say it's on my list. You know, I'm not but you know, I know you are, and I know you're gonna want to talk about it. And baby, it's time for the sequel that your favorite movie of all.
I know what you're. Yeah.
AntMan and the Wasp. So, Duncan, how excited are you for Quantumania? And are you bummed that they didn't call it cool Ant-Umania?
Wow. First of all, this isn't even on my list of
I thought,
anticipated movies.
stop lying. Stop lying.
I'm being for real. I saw it on the list and I didn't add it to mine.
You're
Like,
excited for this movie.
this movie looks like it got picked to shelve like a different movie. Like they weren't sure which movie to put all
They
of
said
their
this is going to
Kang
be an
stuff into.
Avengers level.
And it shouldn't be.
And I've seen some rumors. I've listened to the leaks. I heard the whole script for this, by the way.
Okay, you're the fan then.
I'm not going to get into it, but I heard the entire. I haven't even read what leaked, but I heard the entire script for this movie leaked.
Wow.
I've heard a few leaks where from before the script leaked, so I don't know if they're true still. But this is going to be a big movie if what I heard comes to fruition.
And you know what? It shouldn't be. This character, by definition, should be handling small things.
Peyton Reed came out and he said, you know, the last two were little, they were the little filler movies between your little Avengers, they were the tasty morsels between your Avengers feast. And he said, this is the Avengers level film. And
it's going against everything that made me love the first two.
I feel like I'm going to rank Evangeline Lilly's hairstyles
from
all three Ant-Man movies because I feel like they're vastly different.
There's going to be more editing from me, but fine, go ahead.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is number one. That was her best hairstyle.
Okay.
And that looks really good. It's a solid hairstyle. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I don't know how they got worse than the first one, but I might have to go Ant-Man 1 in second place, and it's not good.
No,
she looks like Dora the Explorer. It's not. I don't know. It's not her fault. It's not her fault. I would just like.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go Ant-Man and the Wasp. She's very attractive in that movie. Okay.
All right.
Ant-Man 1, Dora the Explorer was not a fan. Ant-Man Quantumania, we got some Karen stuff going on. It looks like they gave her a Karen cut, and then like they gave her a swirly in the toilet and then let it dry.
Okay, I never thought we'd get to the point where you'd be ranking women's hairstyles, but I also didn't think you'd be talking about it for 10 minutes.
You killed it in the last one. Why do we have to change it? It's not like Paul Rudd changes his hair every movie. She's the only character. Every movie, her hair's got to be...
Yeah, it's a shame.
It's noticeable. If a man like me is noticing the hairstyles of your secondary titular character, you have a problem.
A man like me? What do you mean by that?
I don't notice these things, Duncan. I'm not supposed to. When you got Dora the Explorer running around, then I really like her hair in the second movie. And I feel like I shouldn't notice it. But because the other two are just so bad, like, is it even that good? Or are the other ones? It's like, you know, when you see oh God, I can't go down this rabbit hole. I'm gonna get canceled. Never mind. I was gonna bring politicians and how, you know, how sometimes there's attractive politicians, but it's just like, are they really attractive, or are the other politicians just 80? You know?
I've never seen this side of you.
Sometimes that's where my Twitter feed leads to, and I'm like, I need to delete this app.
To answer your original question, not really. I'm not really excited for the movie. It'll be fine. I'll see it when it hits streaming, but I'm not gonna be tripping over my feet to go see it in theaters.
Well, Jonathan Majors looks promising as Kang.
Sure, yeah. I liked him when he did it last time.
Speaking of Jonathan Majors, Creed 3, baby.
Is he in that?
He's the bad guy. Now,
Wow.
we saw Creed 2 together.
We did.
I had to get hospitalized.
I knew you'd talk about this. Okay, let me tell my version. Frank and I went to a theater to go watch Creed 2.
This was the best episode we could have picked for the 50th. This is like a celebration.
It honestly, it's the best moments. It really is. This was, I think, this might have been the last movie I saw in theaters. My God, you got like half price tickets because you worked at the theater.
We got in for free, yeah.
I've never seen Creed 1 or any Rocky past Rocky 1, but I went and saw Creed 2 with my best buddy Frank because I was like, it's just going to be a nice time. Frank gets bit by a tick and he acts like he has to amputate a limb. He thinks he's dead meat walking. He has to go to we didn't have like a campus with like a student hospital, but we had a referred clinic that they sent you to,
which was sketchy. It was next to a vet, and like you don't want to go to a doctor.
You do not want to go to a doctor that is right next to a vet because you have to assume they overlap.
One of those like Taco Bell Pizza Hut combination systems where it's like they're working in bulk.
It did look like
they really don't know how to do either job well.
It looked like they rented one of those spaces that could host a restaurant. Like it was a Subway a month ago, but now it's a hospital.
It's not a good situation.
And how did the situation end? Did you get your tick out?
So the tick was in so deep that they couldn't get it out with the tweezers.
Oh,
so
God.
They were like, we're going to have to give you some like shot so it numbs you. And then we're going to have to make it as tiny and okay, it was probably a tiny cut, but he said incision. So like I freaked out.
You never want them to use that word. Yeah.
I was like, I'm too far away from my
incision. Sounds way worse than like mini slice.
I thought Creed 2 was just groovy. Dolph Lundgren was great in it.
Yeah, the movie was fun.
Creed 3, I've heard it's the best. I've heard it's the best so far.
You and your Hollywood circles are talking about Creed 3.
I'm in a bubble now. Look at that. I've heard it's the best one. I'm a little bummed they kind of kicked Stallone out of the franchise.
Oh, was he? I mean, he was in the second one.
Yeah, if they're like, oh, I'm so bummed Rocky's dead, I'm going to be kind of pissed.
If they kill him off screen.
They're just like, oh man, what a shame Rocky got hit by a truck. Like I'm going to be upset.
I'm feeling pretty sad ever since Rocky slipped on that patch of ice and hit his head.
Or they're gonna have they didn't bring Stallone back, so the movie's gonna open up with like a silhouette of a guy punching meat that's on a meat hook, but he punches it too hard, and then the meat hook gets stuck into him, and then he accidentally hits.
And then it cuts to his gravestone that just says "Dead Rocky,"
and then the Creed 3 title just fades on screen.
Oh, I hope for their sake they don't have to do that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. March is stacked, my dude.
Is it?
I
don't have my movies listed by month.
That 65 movie with Adam Driver. Do you know about that?
I don't. No, that's a new one to me.
It looks like a good little indie like action flick. I'm like, yeah, I'm down for that, but I don't really want to talk about it. Duncan, what do you want to talk about?
Don't laugh at me for this, but I'm actually a little excited to see the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I'm okay.
It looks like it might be a little too Guardians of the Galaxy for me.
I've only seen one trailer and I got that vibe, yeah.
But it looks like they're staying true to the point of it just being like wacky. Like D&D with your friends is supposed to be about improv, and like if someone says like, I try to kiss the dragon, then you have to roll for it, right? You just have to. And I think this I don't think
I don't want to, but what choice do I have?
I just think if this movie can embrace the kind of intimate humor that like a group of friends playing the game would experience, then the movie will be great. But I'm worried they're gonna do like lore and like the original story. I don't know. But I do think it's funny that the movie is being delayed because every D&D group I've ever heard of has been delayed due to like scheduling conflicts. Like, I have work.
Come out in March. Yeah, March. March is stacked. My Regal Unlimited subscription in March, we're gonna max that sucker.
Oh my God. You go. You talk.
Scream 6.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen any of the Scream movies, so this is. I
Me
saw
neither.
So
You saw the fifth one.
I saw 5, which was the last one that came out, and I only saw it because I was working at the movie theater, and one of my coworkers pissed me off. So in the middle of my shift, I just walked in the
Oh,
theater
you went to
and watched the
escape your
whole thing.
coworker and you ended up watching
And it
Scream.
was good. I was like, oh, I enjoy this. I actually want
Okay.
to try to seek out the other Scream movies before I watch this. But the trailers look good. It takes place in New York City, from what I gather, and now Ghostface has a shotgun. I'm like, I'm for that.
Isn't that like a pretty huge departure from the originals?
Well,
Wasn't he in the suburbs with a knife?
yeah, but I feel like they milked that,
He
and now
grew up and left town. Yeah, that's cute.
And the lighting, just from this one shot I'm looking at on Rotten Tomatoes, looks.
Oh my God,
looks
the lighting.
The lighting looks pretty stellar.
I can't wait for Dungeons and Dragons. The CGI looks so good. That's what you sound like.
Okay. Duncan,
But I don't want to fight with you.
That's a lower excitement. That isn't like
Sure.
excitement,
And speaking of lower excitement, the Mario movie's coming out this year.
Here's the thing. Everything looks good in it. Like, I think the trailers have actually looked good. Don't die. Don't die.
Yeah, I sneezed too hard.
You did.
Oh my God, imagine dying before seeing the Mario movie in theaters.
Oh my gosh, it would not be worth it. It was
when does this
wasn't worth
out?
it at that point. But the Chris Pratt voice obviously needs.
Chris Pratt as Mario will go down
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
I can't wait to be Mario.
It's rough.
It's not great.
Why couldn't you just get the guy?
Yeah, you had him. He was there. Yeah.
I got you have to have some big stars, okay? Toad, nobody really knows Toad's voice.
I know Toad's voice. It's high pitched and whiny.
Well, I'm saying I feel like Mario.
Welcome to the Mushroom Kingdom, Mario.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
Didn't they get Keegan-Michael Key to be Toad?
I did not know they did that.
It's Key of Key and Peele fame.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Listen, I like Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach. I can get behind that.
Of course you like Anya Taylor-Joy as anything. Sorry. Hey, I know you don't like me talking about that.
I like Anya Taylor-Joy. She's a good actress.
Yeah, that's why. Happy episode 50, everybody.
She's a celebrity crush, I can admit that.
Sure.
I feel like we'd have a good conversation.
Oh, would you?
Yeah. So is that all you had to say about the Mario movie?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna see it because I think it's gonna be like enjoyably bad. But yeah, I'll be seated.
I'm gonna try to see it in 3D. I feel like it's gonna be bad in 3D, but
it's gonna look like you turned your 3DS onto 3D and it looks like the worst kind of graphics.
Take me back to those days,
Really? You want to go back to those days?
No.
Your turn, Frank. What do you want to?
Okay, this is like about? So this would have been high excitement, but it's kind of mid excitement now.
It's not high excitement, it's drunk excitement.
I'm excited because I love the director and I love the last one. It's Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Ooh.
I'm excited for it. Have you seen the first Shazam?
I have not seen the first Shazam.
But
I have seen Black Adam.
I love the first Shazam. I'm excited. The only reason I'm
Does it look like a departure from the first movie?
No. The only reason I'm a little less excited is because this movie's gonna come out, and then a month later, James Gunn is gonna be like, by the way, it doesn't matter. And I just,
Yeah, I think that whole universe is kind of, I don't know. I mean,
I feel like the Flash movie, which I'm going to talk about later in this episode, is going to be a nice bow out for that. I'm hoping at least, like, it's going to say, hey, this is the closing of this, and now the James Gunn stuff begins.
Well, we haven't talked about everything that's happening with the Warner
Well, we
Brothers
also
DC.
they're supposed to within the next 3 days. He's supposed to announce a slate, so maybe that could be next week's episode. We can dive into that.
Sure. But
Um,
just generally, what are your thoughts on that? I know this was like something you really enjoyed.
my unpopular opinion, I think the DC universe was at its best when it was the most a mess.
Hmm.
I loved I love my TV shows. I have the Arrowverse. I have Stargirl. That's its own thing. I have Superman and Lois. That's its own little corner. But then there's also the corner where I have Titans. I have Doom Patrol. I got all my HBO stuff. Fantastic. Then I have the Snyderverse, okay? That was my personal favorite. I loved Man of Steel, everything, Batman v Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, okay. I also
Sure.
have the Shazam movies.
Mhm.
And then it was like I had all these different movies coming out. I had Birds of Prey, which is so different from the Suicide Squad. And then we had Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then Wonder Woman 84. And all these projects are so different. And
Everything
I'm afraid
felt pretty
now it's
unique.
gonna be, I'm afraid now we're starting to put stuff through the funnel and it's all going to be the same. That's my concern. I'm
Sure.
hoping I'm wrong. I'm hopeful. I am hopeful that what comes next is going to be good.
Is the plan that James Gunn is going to be like the director in charge of the whole thing, or is he going to direct each movie?
No. So what's going to happen is he is apparently
Like the creative
him and Peter
director?
Safran are going to be the Kevin Feige's of it, with Safran being more so like the producer side of it, and James Gunn being more so the creative side. So he's more of like,
Okay.
here's the vision for the universe, and Peter Safran's like, okay, I'm the money guy. Here's how we're going to make this happen. Here's what we have to set up in each film to make it happen. He's more the
Okay.
logistics guy.
Mhm. I mean, on paper, that doesn't sound
And I'm
bad,
kind of
but
I'm not gonna lie, it rubs me the wrong way because it's apparently a soft reboot, so not everything's getting rebooted.
everything's getting changed. Yeah.
But some things are just getting switched around. And I'm
Hmm.
like, it's kind of crappy if you're keeping all your stuff that you've already established in this universe, but getting rid of all the Zack Snyder stuff.
Right.
That
He was
kind
like,
of
we're
rubs me
keeping
the
Harley
wrong way.
Quinn. And I'm like, can you do that?
The what?
Why? James Gunn was like, we're keeping Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Yeah, you can do
It's
that.
like,
I'm okay with that, but like,
how can you reshift everything but keep Harley Quinn? Oh, by the way,
that's what I
and
think.
Ezra Miller.
I don't think there's no way that's happening.
They're letting the Flash movie come out. How is that not?
They
Why
spent
wouldn't they
way too
just?
much money on that to can it, and I think that movie's kind of again going to be the bow on
I thought they said they're keeping Ezra as the Flash, and he's the one that.
they're gonna. I would put money on that movie ends with him running through some sort of wormhole, and then they reshot a new ending where it's a new actor, and now we're in
That
the
would be smart. Yeah. I think it should be Harley Quinn, and that's how they explain that.
Harley Quinn is a Flash.
Give her the speed thing and make her, that's why she stays Margot Robbie.
I don't know. Well, okay. So Shazam, I'm excited for. I love David F. Sandberg.
Yeah.
I feel like now we should just hop into the Flash movie since we're talking about.
Fine, I guess.
Let's see. Did you want to do our little Zoom break?
Oh yeah, we should do that.
Okay.
All right, be back in a flash.
Be back in a flash.
Frank, welcome back to part 2 of this episode.
I'm sorry, I was just eating some Ritz crackers.
Wow, eating crackers on camera. How disrespectful.
The Flash.
Yes. That's coming out.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm really excited for this movie.
Yeah, I know. I know this is like right up your alley.
I know, because the Flash is my favorite superhero. This movie was announced before the CW Flash became a TV show.
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
And Hollywood insiders, I know. I've talked to people who went to not press screenings, test audience screenings for this.
Mm-hmm.
And they said it is like emotionally just like surprisingly like rich and deep. And that the film is incredible.
Wow.
Like they said it's a cameo fest of a movie.
I'm sure.
but it doesn't sacrifice story. And there's a lot of heart and soul in it. And I cannot wait to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. I cannot wait to see
I know
Michael
that's a big
Batman
thing.
again.
Yeah.
I am so I that is all I've needed in my life is Michael Keaton as Batman once again.
Any takes on the actor?
Clearly cast before these
Oh, yeah,
issues
yeah.
arose. Okay. I think it sucks because a lot of people clearly worked hard on this film.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Everyone
there's clearly a
else.
lot of love and hard work put into this film that is 100% going to be overshadowed.
Yeah, that is very
And
true.
it sucks. This is probably the last big movie Ezra Miller is going to have.
That is true.
Maybe in 30 years there could be a comeback tour. Maybe if they get the help that they need, I'd be open.
They'd have to, yeah.
But
it just
I don't even know really what has happened. I just know, like, from what I've heard bits and pieces here and there, and I'm like, that's not good.
They went to Hawaii and like got in like 30 fights with people.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you get into that many fights with random people without you being the problem? Like, I think, okay, they have done things that would get anyone else fired from a movie. Like,
I think
the
the issue
fact
is the movie
that
was already filmed.
well, they were going through reshoots, right? So not fully, but I guess it is a little too late.
You can't
to
really, I was
scrap
gonna
what you
say,
have.
it's not worth it.
But at the same time, like,
I would have guessed months ago that this movie would have gotten scrapped and not Batgirl because of that.
oh,
If
the
you had
fact
said
that like
Batgirl or this, which one's getting scrapped? I would have said the Flash.
right. Oh,
I
guess
really want them to release Batgirl.
it was a finished movie, right? Like they should.
How
Even
bad
on
could it have
YouTube,
been?
right?
You released Black Adam into theaters. Just drop it on HBO.
Yeah. I'm I don't know. I feel like the Flash is just going to be like another paycheck for someone who
I
hasn't
actually
really
enjoyed Black
been.
Adam. It's not the best, but I enjoyed it for what it was.
We'll talk about that another episode because oh boy, I have thoughts on that. I'll go just because this one's really quick. John Wick 4 is coming out.
I haven't seen any of the Johnny Wicks.
Well, they're all pretty similar. Each one ramps it up, but if you kind of understand the formula, like I know what this movie's going to be.
I don't want to be too in this episode, like, well, Hollywood Insider.
My God.
I talked to someone who worked on this movie.
Yeah.
And they said it's
pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
They said the best one.
Each one is the best one, like when it comes out.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. Anyway, your turn again.
Well, since we're talking DC.
Oh my God. Yeah.
There's only one more. Blue Beetle. This was supposed to drop on HBO Max, and apparently it's so good that they're giving
Who the hell is Blue Beetle?
You're in for a treat. That's all I'll say.
Really? I don't know if I'm gonna watch it.
This movie is gonna be like, what if the Venom movies were good? And they're saying it's very family oriented. George Lopez is
every DC movie tries to do that. They're like, you have to like it. It's family oriented.
No, look,
Superman's on his farm.
Family, like his family's involved. Like George Lopez plays his dad, and he's getting praise from what I've heard.
Wow.
So I'm excited.
I didn't know George Soros was an actor.
George Lopez.
Oh, George Lopez. I misheard.
I
misheard you. I thought you said George Soros.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, he's the Republican who's the drag queen.
That's Greg Santos.
No, you're thinking of Greg Abbott.
No, no, Greg Abbott's a Texas guy. You're thinking George Santos.
George Soros.
Santos.
Grace, who's the drag queen?
George Santos.
George Santos?
Santos!
Who's George Soros? The billionaire. What does he do? Oh no. Okay. All right. Well, the point is I was very
I love
wrong
the
and I
press.
apologize. George Lopez, you're
This
saying.
is the second time in this episode that we brought up politicians.
We keep getting political on this episode.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that.
The MrMovies podcast before they got all political.
Let's give them a bit of the stimulus so they stop talking about how bad we are. Anyway, what movie are you excited for?
Okay, so this is up there. It's like
I
Flash.
have 3 left.
Flash is high excitement. This movie is also like disgustingly high excitement. I love the horror genre. And we are getting a new Evil Dead movie this year, which again was supposed to go straight on HBO Max, but it has tested very good, and apparently the executives love it, so it's going to the theaters. Have you seen the trailer for Evil Dead?
I did see the trailer, yeah.
That is the scariest trailer.
I was waiting for the guy with the chainsaw hand to show up.
Bruce Campbell, and he's like, Bruce. He's not in this one, but this looks damn good. Like, this trailer scared the crap out of me.
I don't watch horror movies, and it's because this trailer scared me. I won't be seeing it.
I was like, oh my God. I had to watch it through my fingers. I was like, oh my God. It looks like
a horror movie's bad when the trailer is scary.
Call me a nerd. Call me a jerk.
You're a nerd and a jerk.
Crap. The cinematography and the lighting in this looks spectacular.
I hate to agree with you, but it does. Yeah.
It looks really good. Where I'm like, I can't imagine watching this on HBO.
It looks like a well-produced movie.
Made me watch Zacky Snacky Snidy's Justice League on HBO, because I would have been there all 4 hours in the theater with my catheter. Okay,
with that aspect ratio, you'd be looking at a square.
4:3. That's a full IMAX.
4:3 is not IMAX.
Yeah, it is. That's full IMAX.
Height or width? When
you shoot a movie full sensor frame, it comes out as a square. They crop it. The big sell of IMAX is, we give you a little teensy weensy, but a lot of IMAX screens aren't true IMAX. They just give you a 16:9 aspect ratio.
You're telling me IMAX theaters don't have IMAX?
TV. But a normal IMAX would be a tall 4:3 aspect ratio. So you are getting the uncut, you're getting full frame, full sensor, bare booty, you're getting it. And Zacky Snacky delivered.
I'm going again. Spider-Verse 2, that's coming out. It looks well animated, looks exciting. I will be watching.
I'm excited. Alrighty. Is that all you had to say on it?
Yep.
I feel like we do gotta rush through.
That's it.
I'm excited for May. We were just talking about James Gunn, Guardians 3. Listen, this is my most anticipated Marvel movie.
Really?
I thought the trailer for it, I was like, this is good. It's the last Guardians movie. From
Thank
what
God.
we've heard, a lot of the actors are jumping ship after this. So, and I like these characters. I'm not super excited if they're going to rehash the whole Star-Lord Gamora love story again. I'm like, I could that. I'm kind of, but this feels.
But Frank, won't they?
I watched that trailer and I was like, this feels. Listen, the MCU does not deliver endings. It always is to be continued, and I feel like this movie is going to give us an ending to a story. And that's what I'm excited to see. Can the MCU? I'm excited to see, not can they? Because they have Iron Man 3, fantastic movie, underrated criminal.
Yeah.
Can they deliver? I hope they can. And this movie I don't know, it just looks like it's gonna hit.
Can I say something controversial?
Yes.
I don't think James Gunn can do ensemble movies.
I disagree.
I hold on. I don't think he can do ensemble movies without shafting some of the characters. I think every time he handles more than like 3 characters at a time, some of them just get like
3 characters get the highlight and then the rest.
Right. Yeah, I feel like it's not enjoyable to sell a movie on a family dynamic and then like completely ignore half of them. I hope
they do something good with Drax in this movie.
They better. He's one of the ones.
First one, Thanos killed my family, and then you didn't even have him fight Thanos, really.
Right.
And then he's just kind of been hanging around. So I hope they do something good with this character. And it's Dave Bautista confirmed it's his last movie. So
Right.
maybe-
He's been very vocal about exiting this franchise. So
Yeah.
you'd hope they'd do something with him. I don't know. I can't get my hopes up.
I was gonna say another movie I'm excited for, and I'm just gonna say the title and we're gonna move on. I'm not gonna explain myself. I don't have to.
What is it?
I kind of want to see the live action Little Mermaid movie.
I mean, I'll see it when it's on Disney.
I kind of want to
Plus.
see it. I don't know.
I'll check it out. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I saw the trailer. It doesn't look. Maybe our Lord and Savior James Cameron spoiled us with The Way of Water. It doesn't look like she's underwater, and I think it's really funny. So I kind of want to see the movie.
Well, it either looks like she's not underwater or it's way too murky to tell what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'll check out the movie. They made it. They put effort into it, so I'll try it.
Listen, May's gonna be a stacked month, my dude.
You're still on May?
Or June. We're in June? I don't know. I kind of lost track of
you know us in months, so
yeah. Anything you're excited for?
I have Barbie on my list.
Yeah, I'm Barbie. Greta
rid-
Gerwig, and you have Noah Baumbach writing it.
It looks too ridiculous to not check out.
I'm like, why do you like? There's too many talented people involved in this for me not to be excited. And like the teaser trailer, I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, it actually looks like they know what they're doing, and it's not.
Simu Liu's in it. I'm like, I'm down for that.
You'd always worry that it's just going to be like a revival of the brand, but like this
ever
one looks
since
like
the
they're being
Lego
smart
movie,
about it.
I feel like there's been the ripoff. Like, oh, yeah, you can't really. I feel like this movie's going to be critical towards Barbies.
If it's in Greta Gerwig's hands without any like influence, then yeah, I bet.
I feel like this movie's going to celebrate Barbie while simultaneously giving her the middle finger. And that's what that's what people
I'm there to
don't
see
when
it.
I tell them I'm excited for the Barbie movie.
100%. I love that.
I have to admit something horrific as a Steven Spielberg fan.
Okay.
And this year, by the way, and you'll see it throughout our podcast, I'm going to watch and rewatch every single Steven Spielberg movie.
Oh my God.
I've already started. But I'm hoping that by June 30th, I catch up with all the Indiana Jones movies because I've only seen the first one.
That's right. We watched the first one together.
Yep.
We have 2 movies or 3 movies to catch up on. That's not that many.
Well, it's a lot to me because I also want to watch all the Scream movies too. That's 5 movies I gotta watch.
Yeah, sorry.
So, and I gotta watch all the Steven. Someone's trying to FaceTime me. Oh no, no, my sister. Not during the 50th episode, okay? Alrighty.
Get out of here.
Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny. James Mangold's directing it. He did Logan.
Yeah.
So he did Ford versus Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
The trailer looked really good. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is in the movie and she helped write it. I gotta assume it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be like good at least, but
that trailer made me nostalgic for a franchise I have no right feeling nostalgic over.
I just feel so horrible because Harrison Ford looks like he's gonna die if he sneezes wrong.
He was talking about this movie in an interview and he started tearing up. Like he loves this movie.
Oh, he loves it for sure. It's just he's way too old to be acting.
I don't think so. No, keep him coming. Harrison Ford is phenomenal.
I mean, he's a really good actor. I'll agree with you. It's just sometimes you don't want to push them.
I also think Harrison Ford gave one of the best TV interviews ever during the Force Awakens circuit. He got drunk on Jimmy Fallon and they handed him a Han Solo action figure and asked him to recreate the injury he had on set. And it's the funniest.
Oh my God.
It's one of the best interviews I had.
Didn't he have an injury on set on Indiana Jones too?
Probably.
He's too old. Stop
Alright,
making him
Duncan,
out.
this podcast is gonna be 5 hours long. Do you have how many do you have left on your
I
list?
have one left.
Let me go through because I have
yeah.
on the July on this thing, and I'm excited. All right, so July, this is my number one most anticipated movie of this year. If I only ever had to watch one movie, I want you to take this one, bottle up in a syringe, and inject it in my eyeballs. I need to see it. You're gonna okay, and that is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Because after Fallout, you delivered a masterpiece of a film. I know Duncan goes, it's not as good as AntMan and the Wasp. But you know, this movie is gonna kick ass after Tom Cruise's delivery of Top Gun Maverick. I cannot wait to see this movie. It is part 1 of part 2. Is Ethan Hunt gonna die? I think he's gotta die at the end. Someone's dying at the end of this movie. If it's Rebecca Ferguson, I riot. But I am so excited for this movie. I cannot wait to see it. I love it. I'm so excited for
I've never seen you this jazzed over a movie.
I
And you've
cannot
been
wait.
fucking jazzed over
I am
movies.
excited. All right, real quick. I have nothing to say about this movie.
Okay.
But I'm excited to see it because it's Chris Nolan. Oppenheimer. It's going to be great. Can't wait to see.
Bomb's gonna go off. That's it.
I'm not really okay. I was not a fan of the first Captain Marvel movie, but they got the Marvels coming out. But I like
That
the
I
Miss
forgot.
Marvel
Yeah,
TV show, and she's in this. So I guess I'm somewhat should be excited for this. Apparently it's a musical though, and I'm like a musical in the Marvel Cinematic
Why
Universe.
it's a musical?
I don't know.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Barbie,
you and your damn Hollywood circles. You're getting all the insider information.
Dune Part 2.
I didn't see the first one.
I watched the first one. It felt like the first 3 episodes of a potentially great TV show. So if this one doesn't deliver, I'm going to be bummed. But hey, I'm going to see it.
That seems fair.
Oh, Killers of the Flower Moon. Is that what it's called? The new Martin.
Are you talking about Rebel Moon?
The new Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon. Zacky Snidey. Rebel Moon. I don't know much about this. It's not that much out.
Are you kidding? You've yelled at me that this is Zack Snyder's Star Wars.
I did talk to somebody who was on the set, and they said it's massive. That's all I got was massive. And his eyes glue like there was a little twinkle in him when he said it. The Killer, David Fincher, it's going to be good. Killer of the Flower Moon, whatever it's called, the new Scorsese movie. The Irishman, I've seen it like 6 times. I love The Irishman.
Okay, I didn't ever watch The Irishman. I cannot wait to
grow old and all my friends are dead, and then I'm in the nursing home by myself. You know, and I shed a tear because I killed Jimmy Hoffa, and he was the only man who ever loved me. I love The Irishman. It's so good.
Isn't it like 4 hours?
It's only 3.5. Don't be dramatic.
That's so long. 3.5. Don't be dramatic. I rounded up.
It's a fast 3.5. Duncan, I've watched this movie like a disgusting.
No movie is a fast 3.5 hours. That's not possible.
It's so good. Joe Pesci. Only 3 people in this world have this ring, and only one of them is Irish. It's so good. It's so good.
Okay.
There's Jimmy Hoffa. I need you to come help me. Hooah, hooah. That's my Al Pacino impression.
Oh wow, that's pretty good. I didn't know who you were doing until you said
Pacino. Okay.
I wish you'd stop doing that at me.
Hooah, hooah. I gotta work on that. I feel like I could master that.
My God.
There's a new Hunger Games movie coming out.
There is.
Rachel Zegler's in it, and I think she's fantastic. So sign me up, I guess.
Yeah. I hope they're still
There's a Ghostbusters movie coming out this year.
Yeah, the sequel to Afterbirth.
Sign me up.
Ghostbusters Afterbirth.
Afterbirth. Legally Blonde 3 is coming out this year.
That's the last one on my list. Legally Blonde 3.
Well, wait.
I've never seen the second one.
I thought it was going to be Wonka with Timothy Chalamet.
I'm not excited for Wonka. Are you kidding me? If I wanted to see Timothy Chalamet play a twink, I'd watch any other movie. Sorry.
Damn.
Is that it? Is that your list?
That's it. Rebel Moon, baby. Rebel Moon. Legally Blonde 3, I didn't know was coming out. I don't think I watched the
Well, it's
second one.
estimated. I don't know if it's confirmed.
It's not coming out.
Ever?
Jennifer Coolidge is going to be in it.
Jen Coolidge, she's having a
No, I kind of want to
renaissance.
call my sister now because she does the best Jennifer Coolidge impression I've ever heard in my
Really?
life.
People love to say they
Yes.
can do a Jennifer Coolidge
Oh,
impression.
Wait a
Are you
minute.
calling her?
Wait a minute. I'm calling her.
Wow, this really is a special episode. We're having multiple cameos.
I wouldn't do this if it wasn't the 50th episode, okay?
Aw. Well, he's calling. Thank you everyone for sticking around for 50
Hey,
episodes.
I will FaceTime you, but you got it later. I'm recording with Duncan the podcast. We're in the middle of recording right now. We're doing the 50th episode. No problem. But we're talking about impressions. And Jennifer Coolidge was brought up. And I was wondering if I put you on speaker, would you do it for the 50th episode? Okay.
Wow.
You're on speaker.
Hi.
She's got to go into another room. She's at a party right now.
She's at a party.
You look like the 4th of July. Makes me want a hot dog real bad.
That was really good. That was, oh my God. Like even through a phone, through a laptop, I could hear how good that was.
Alrighty, I'll let you go. I'll call you in like 15 minutes. Alrighty, love you. Bye.
Bye. Wow.
Look at that, our second guest on the podcast.
Talk about a party trick. That's crazy.
Oh man, this was good. So Legally Blonde 3 is coming. I smell an Oscar.
I smell an Oscar for Legally Blonde 3.
Man. This was, let me tell you, I had this 50th episode hyped.
Yeah. I
And
know.
I think we hit the bar. And
Agreed.
Geez, the 100th episode,
I'll see if I can pull that.
oh man.
Oh my God. This was so much fun. I could
This was fun.
50 more episodes.
50 to 50. Here's to 50 more, my friend.
In another 7 years, we'll get to episode 100.
Yeah. In 6 years, you'll get episode 100. But
yep, it'll be worth the wait.
We've been doing good. I feel like this past year we've really done.
We've been doing quality over quantity.
Listen, yep. We're keeping the audience hungry.
That's what it is. Yeah. Code.
Fellas, blow this episode up, like it, subscribe to it, and comment. What do you want us to cover in the new year? And what movies are you looking forward to the most? It's not about the journey, it's about the destination. Oh, wait, that's not it. Anyway.
Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you for watching.
We'll get a new episode up before you know it.
50 more.
50 more.
We are getting caught up this year. That is our year goal for 2023.
Our New Year's resolution.
Getting caught up on our podcast.
There you go. It'll happen. Maybe.
It's gonna happen, and we hope you join us when you hit that subscribe button. Good. Alrighty. We love you. Thank you for the support, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. Episode 50. We did it.
We did it.